last night on The Golden Bachelor.
Now cry for me.
Okay. God love you, Natasha.
I love you too.
I understand.
I knew you would.
I get it. And when I lost Tony, and I thought the world ended.
Hey, cut that out! Stop making this poor old dude cry!
I can make him do whatever I want.
It's another week of The Golden Bachelor, where this time Jesse Palmer is here promising to reveal who went home at the final 3 rose ceremony, but not until she arrives in studio to see Gerry for the first time since her elimination at the Women Tell All. Yep, we're gonna be hearing from all our favorite Golden Bachelorettes like, wait a minute, is that Natasha wearing chair earrings?
Do the rose ceremony in chairs. You have people in here 60, 70, and above. Do the rose ceremony in the chairs.
Alright, Mama is branding herself, and I'm here for it. So sit down, take a deep breath, and pull a Sandra.
Oh, it works every time.
Because we're about to get into the drama, and one subject that absolutely tears the ladies apart as fingers get pointed and tempers flare.
What's coming out of me is deadly.
Really? What did you eat today?
Guacamole.
Well, apparently, Susan has had the worst bachelor intestinal ailment since this lady had to leave Bachelor in Paradise to deliver a poo baby a few weeks ago. And this was something that truly affected her relationship with Gerry.
So there's something I need to get out of the way.
Really? Okay.
It's really, really serious. I had the worst kiss.
Well, Susan blames Edith's guacamole for this, and everyone else blames Susan's meatballs for this, and I'm like, okay, you're throwing down a bunch of meatballs and pasta bowls filled with guac all day, and we're wondering what's causing the gas?
It's both.
But come on, we're talking about guac or meatballs here. As someone who's eaten food before, I can tell you that the culprit was probably...
It was definitely the meatballs.
Oh, God!
Now, of course, they do cover the real drama of this season, which was Kathy's zip it comments to Teresa, who of course isn't here to comment as she's still on the show at this point, but essentially, Kathy says it's so in the past and she wishes Teresa nothing but happiness. However, she does concede that perhaps she could have been a little more delicate.
Could I have been a little more delicate? Yes.
But that's not good.
Absolutely, I could have. Maybe we both should have zipped it.
Now at this point, Susan gets a special message from her doppelganger, the one and only Kris Jenner.
Susan, you are amazing. And
Love you.
your style, love the hair.
Yeah, you would say that. And we now move into the hot seat segments because this is only an hour-long tell-all. And first up is Joan, the woman who had to prematurely leave the show because her daughter needed her back home after a very tough pregnancy. Now here we learn a little more about that, as Joan says that everything is now great with her daughter and granddaughter. However, when they were filming, Joan's daughter was struggling with a very serious case of postpartum depression. So it was a no-brainer for Joan to get on a plane and go be with her. And as for the show, well, it's been a very strange experience for Joan watching the clips back, as one, this is the first time she's seen the footage of Gerry reacting to her leaving, and she didn't know he was that hurt, and two, all this footage affirms that Gerry is a great person who she really could have had something with. But she does feel grateful to Gerry for reigniting her belief in finding love again. Now, next up in the hot seat is Ellen, and after reviewing her emotional send-off from the show, Ellen shares that while it was very hard, she, like Joan and so many of the other women, is mostly grateful for the reignition this experience has provided for her. Oh, and of course they talk about her friend Roberta, who passed away before the season premiere. And when Ellen returned from filming, Roberta's stage 4 cancer progressed to the point where Roberta was in a semi-coma state.
I finally said to her, I don't want you to suffer anymore. I want you to go. It's okay. We're gonna watch the show just from different places.
Dang, that one hit me in the gut. Y'all, they even got Jesse Palmer tearing up. So much so, I'm over here going...
Ellen, thank you so much for sharing that story. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just let it out. Have a good cry. Come on.
And then they bring out Roberta's daughter, who says, "Thank you for showing our family what true friendship is like," and I was a mess. Damn you, Golden Bachelor, for making me cry every week. But finally, it's time for Gerry to come out and address the women. First, Jesse asks how he is, and Gerry says,
"Yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah, I haven't had a heart attack yet, but it's getting close."
You shouldn't joke about that.
Then Gerry just beams as he sees all the ladies back together, saying that every day he has a flashback to something special about each of these women, and both Gerry and I say,
God, I love them all.
And the love is shared right back. I mean, not a single person here has anything bad to say about our Golden Bachelor. They all appreciate the warmth and kindness that Gerry shared with them, and say that he's given them hope that finding someone their age is not just possible, it's probable.
You are not just a gentleman, you are a gentleman. And that's important to me.
But alright, there's still one major part of the show to get to, that final 3 rose ceremony, where we now transition back to the Bachelor Mansion and Gary's impossible decision between Faith and Teresa. And let me tell you, I honestly thought that this was going to turn into a non-elimination or something, because after seeing Gerry tell Faith he was in love with her during her hometown, I thought there was just no way she was going home. However, at the same time, sleuthing from the previews seems to show that Teresa is going to make it further. But alas, it's finally time to hand out that rose, as Gerry pulls a Ben Solo going,
You know what you want to do?
I know what I want to do.
But I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
So he goes to make his decision, and I was stunned, floored when he said,
Teresa? Teresa, will you accept this rose?
With all my heart.
And for the next 2 minutes I was like, okay, where's the part where they pull out another rose and say all 3 are going? But nope, that's it. Faith is going home. And either those editors faked us out good, or something wildly changed since their last date. And while this all plays, they even have a little Faith cam who has arrived at the tell-all and is watching the whole thing. And the emotion is still raw, as Faith's big question is, how did we go from I love you to literally nothing? Well, Gerry then comes out, and they hug, they cry, and oh my goodness, I'm just dead. I am on the floor. So Faith tells Gerry she felt like her biggest hurt is from the complete disconnect she felt as he walked her out. To which Gerry says that he wants her to know that when he said I love you, he really felt it. But at some point, he had to decide between 3 unbelievable women.
That doesn't mean that the other 2 were any less wonderful or less important or any less lovable. It just meant that one was right.
But Gerry says that he does wish he could have expressed more of his love for her and the hurt in this decision when he sent her home that night. Which Faith does get, but that doesn't change the hurt that she feels. However, much like what everyone else has expressed, she is appreciative that he taught her that it was still possible for her to take down the walls she's been building up for the last 30 years.
You want to know what makes me feel the worst?
What?
I promised your family something.
I know.
And I broke that promise.
Okay.
That's so awful.
And there you have it. One last cry for everyone as the tell-all comes to a close. But not before one more thing to cleanse the palate, bloopers, where Sandra really takes the cake, the guac, and all the meatballs.
Hold on a second. You were saying?
What a perfect send-off into Fantasy Suites.
That wasn't the meatballs!
So that's it for this recap of The Golden Bachelor Week 7. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, comment your thoughts on the episode down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
Hey, cut that out! Oh! Stop making this poor old dude cry!